I think it probably has happened to everybody individually in their life at some point. So I think that comes natural for guys. As far as I think from a team aspect, we just get ready to go. I think you guys see it around here. Like Bill doesn't treat us any different if we're underdogs or a favorite or any of that. So it's all about just being ready to go out there and trying to win a football game.
Patrick Mahomes said that it has been very complimentary of your defense. He said that you guys are tricky. Just how much pride do you guys take in that, being able to confuse the quarterback sometimes?
I think we definitely take pride in that, and I think we kind of realize we have to do that to win. Like a lot of these quarterbacks are just too good in the NFL to just go out there and give them, whatever it is you're doing. So we definitely try to make it hard for him. Playing him before, he figures things out. We even thought in the first game we got him with some stuff, but later he was able to figure it out, and I think you see that throughout the season. Even as a younger guy, he understands coverages. Obviously, has a great ability to throw the ball and to move around. So we'll have to definitely try to make it tough for him Sunday.
How about Tyreek Hill? I mean, just have you ever seen a guy that fast before? What type of coverage do you have to expect when you face a guy like that?
You just got to do your best. I mean, you can turn on the plays, throughout the whole season over and over again. Everyone knows he's fast. It's on the scouting report, it's on the film, but he's still able to make plays. He's still able to run by guys. So it's awareness, it's knowing where he's at, is trying to get the film study to understand what he's doing when he's at different places. But I think in their office they do a great job of, he's at number 1, he's at 2, he's at 3, he's in the backfield, he's going on speed motion. So it's very difficult the way they use him. But it's a team effort. It's not going to be one guy that you just say go cover him. It's going to be a team effort of just trying to know where he's at and gang tackle him and get as many guys to him.
I think yourself, Brady, Stephen Gostkowski, and Slater are the only 4 on this team that played in the previous 7 AFC Championship games. How much do you relish all of these opportunities?
Oh, it's a great opportunity. I think just walking in here today, seeing the background, you don't know if this will happen every year, and it kind of seems, crazy because we say it every time we get this opportunity, but it's a special thing to be able to play in this game, especially this one game, back in April that every team wants to be playing in. Every team in the AFC wants to be in this game, and it comes down to us in Kansas City. So Bill said it all week, we won't regret putting a lot into this. So I think that's the approach guys are taking, just giving it everything they have this week as far as film study, staying late, getting their body ready, just doing anything possible to try to play their best. And I think that's the right approach to have this week.
Dev, you guys have a saying here, ignore the noise, but on Sunday you said, we see it all. Julian has something on social media saying #BetAgainstUs. Are there times that you can use the noise to your advantage?
Yeah, and I think ignore the noise goes as far as preparation. I think, if everyone thinks we're great, that doesn't mean you take the week off and you just show up for the game. And if everyone thinks we're bad, doesn't mean we have no shot to win. But I think guys do. Like I said, each one of the guys in that locker room at different points in their life has been counted out against and counted against. So you have to. I think you guys are probably built the same way. That's why you're here doing what you do. So it's no different for us as people and as athletes that love to compete. So and we understand we got a big challenge Sunday.
And just quickly, how do you strike the balance between not, you want to know and you can use it as motivation, but not getting too caught up in that stuff?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you better be ready to play football. What you see and what everyone else is talking about becomes irrelevant, as soon as kickoff. No one else cares about that. It'll be us versus Kansas City, and that's why we're here all day today. That's why we'll be here for the whole week, is to prepare for that. Everything else is cool. It's something to talk about, but at the end of the day, it comes down to being able to play football and execute at a high level.
Devin, you kind of touched on it before, but with so many weapons in front of you between Kelsey and Hill and all the guys they have, just keeping track of where they are on any given play, and how important is the communication between you guys in the secondary on Sunday?
Oh, it's vital. Not just the secondary, but us as a whole defense. With so many weapons, whether it's in the run game with Williams, all of the guys that they put out on the field to catch the ball, with Mahomes playing quarterback who's going to have the ball in his hands every play. We have to be able to communicate and know, what each guy's doing out there. And really, we can't have anybody that has a bad game Sunday. Like, it's that time of the year where we all need to kind of play our best football. And that's the teams that win. When you get all 11 guys out there on the same page playing good football, and that's what we'll need to do Sunday.
Part of the reason you two teams are here, or the two teams that get here, are that oftentimes you guys have your way during the year. I mean, you jump out to big leads in games. These games usually aren't like that. It's like a boxing match. So what does it take to win this game when it's punch, counter punch type of game?
Flo always, Flo's been my position coach for a lot of these years, and he always says when you get in these big games, it's about focus on the next play. No matter if the play before was good or bad or what happened, it's all about focus on the next play, not focusing on what could happen or what might happen in the game later on in the fourth. It's just next play, and I think we got to have that mentality throughout the whole game because, like you said, each one of these games I played in, there's been great moments, there's been bad moments. It's just like a roller coaster. So when you have two good teams going at it, that's what you're gonna have, and we got to have that mentality for 60 minutes.
I loved the piece that Jason wrote in the Players Tribune about,
I thought it was okay.
You thought it was okay. It's really amazing to see his journey and then having, to go through it with you having so much success, kind of at the same time. I'm just wondering what it was like for you guys to celebrate his first playoff win together.
It was fun. I think what you kind of develop quickly in the playoff atmosphere is all about the next game if you want to stay alive in it. But for all of us, running in the locker room, realizing you get a chance to come to work the next week, you get a chance to compete in the AFC Championship. Like guys love that feeling. Like it's when you play in those games, it's just the truth. You're either gonna have a tremendous high or you're gonna have a really, really, really low. And I've been on both sides of that. So when you win, even though, like I said, you want to win the next week, you have to celebrate. You have to kind of live in that moment. So. To play in the first playoff game for him and first one together, we were quite happy it was a win.
He's 1-1.
Yeah, he's doing better than I am.
You guys have said that Patrick Mahomes really makes you defend the entire field. At your particular position, what's the kind of the number one thing to remember technique-wise when you're going up against a quarterback like this? I
think one of the things is at times you have kind of a clock in your head of, when the ball's coming out or when the rush will get there. You just kind of know. You have a feeling on plays. And against Mahomes, it's a little different. Like that ball might not come out. He might, run backwards 10 yards. He might, go back across the field. Like he just has that ability. And then usually you talk about if a guy's on one side of the field, he kind of cuts off, the other half. But you watch him, he makes throws across his body that gets to the receiver. So it's more of an awareness of understanding what's still alive with him. And that's what we mean when we say the whole field is still alive because of his arm strength and athletic ability to buy time.
Is there any sort of difference in a playoff game, when you've already played the opponent in the regular season to play them a second time?
I think it's a little different when you play a team, maybe it's 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks, a lot usually is very similar. I think because we played each other so long ago, you definitely watch the game and you go over some of the things that went well or didn't go well because those things can come back up. But a lot of times, like the teams you play in October, like we're not the same really. They're not the same. It's just a little different. Whereas I think it's a little different when you play a team a couple of weeks ago, like how Baltimore and LA played towards the end of the regular season, then in a playoff game. There's a lot of things, like you don't have that much time to make a lot of changes at this time of the year. So, but I think that game definitely has relevance.
Devin, if I heard you right, you said Bill mentioned to the team, you'll never regret putting everything you have into this week. That's an urgent message. When you hear that from him, what do you notice about how your teammates respond to that?
And for me, I've heard it, each year now. But I think guys kind of get it. It's you put everything you got because if you don't, that's it. Like you whatever you thought was important, you have all the time in the world now in the off season. So I think guys see that message and they're like, yeah, this is what I want. I think that feeling of walking away Sunday with opportunity to play again, I think that urges guys more to see what the feeling is next week if you can win. So I think what I've always loved is a clear message, and I think everyone can understand that that you'll never look back and say, I put in too much work for us to go out there and win because of that feeling. It just trumps it.